If you're looking for an easy to build XP farm to get tons of levels fast, then this is the build for you. Hello everyone, Specs here, and welcome to a build tutorial for a brand new XP farm. How many levels am I gonna get? 40 levels. Wow. With the release of 1.21 came the Potion of Infestation, which is what this farm is based off of. You no longer need to build large, complex mob farms to earn some quick XP. Instead, you can build this farm with a little over a stack of blocks. Now this farm takes advantage of the infested status, which has a chance to spawn silverfish whenever a mob that is affected by it takes damage. And there's two different types of mobs that could be up to the challenge depending on your world and preference, the LA and the Armadillo. Both of these mobs have a unique ability to tank damage infinitely in the right situations. And to cause damage to the mobs, you have two options as well, the Wither Rose or the Campfire. In my demonstration today, I'll be using the LA and the Campfire. Here's a look at all the supplies you'll need. The copper and glass blocks can be replaced with any other non-stone blocks you want. I decided to use these for visualization purposes. And if you're using the Wither Rose farm, you're going to want to use the grass block and the Wither Rose. But if you use the Campfire method, then you're going to want to, instead of the Wither Rose, use the Campfire. And instead of these slabs, you're going to want some trapdoors. Alright, that's enough talking. Why don't we get on with the build? So we're going to start with the interior part of the build where the mob is held. In this case, it's going to be our LAs. So we're going to start with a 2 wide, and then we're going to put a 3 wide right on top of it. And right here is where you want to put a grass block if you're using the Wither Rose. Otherwise, you can just put a regular block down. I'll use a grass block here just for visualization. And then we'll put 2 more blocks on the side. We're going to skip this for now, and we're going to build up 1 and 2 more. Now right here is where I'm going to put my campfire. And we need trapdoors next to the campfire. Since the campfire is about half a block tall, maybe a little bit less, we can't use slabs to keep the mobs in place because the silverfish won't be able to get out of the farm. So we have to use trapdoors in this case. So we're going to put a temporary block here, and we're going to put a trapdoor there. And we're going to do a temporary block here and put a trapdoor here. And we have to do 1 more on the front. So we'll put a temporary block right here, and we'll put a trapdoor right there. And then all we need to do is get the allays in and then put the block on top, and they'll be trapped there right on top of the fire. Now allays are a little tricky to deal with. What I found works best is if you make a little tower going into your area, and then you throw a block in and the allay goes to fetch it, and then you can put a block on top. So let's go ahead and try that out. He goes in, put a block on top. Now this block isn't quite low enough for this example, so what we can do is take away these blocks here, and we can actually use a piston to just push that block down into place. I mean, just keep pushing it down as needed. So we'll take a piston here, and we'll face it downwards. Whoops. Face it downwards, and then we'll just use a button to push that block down. And we might need to push it 1 more down. Let's see. Yep, 1 or 2 actually. So we'll just put another piston down, and we'll push it down. Yep, now you can see the allay is right against the Wither Rose right there. So we'll do the same thing right over here to our campfire, and we'll get the allays in. Alright, we have our allays in right on top of the campfire, and we have the block pushed down on top of them to make sure that they're always sitting on top of the campfire. And now we just need to add in the glass cage around it. Now when you add in the glass cage, you want to make sure you leave at least a 1 block gap between the campfire and the edge of your glass cage. So that way the silverfish have a place to spawn and fall down without going through your glass on accident. So we'll start building the glass cage in the back here where we left this 1 block gap, and we'll build 4 up on this side and 4 up on the other side. And from here the sides will be symmetrical, so we'll build up 4 here. We're going to go 2 in this direction, and then we're going to make 3 in this direction. We're going to make a diagonal here and a diagonal here. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll go 3 in this direction, and then a diagonal. And you do want to leave a spot for where you can throw in the potion when needed, so maybe you can like leave a gap right here. and these other spots you can fill in. So you should have a cage that looks somewhat like this, and the only other thing you need to do now is add in the water in the back on each side. So we're gonna add in a water source right here, and we're gonna add in a water source right here. And if you've done it correctly, both water sources should lead the silverfish to spawn right here in this 1 block area in the front here. And the last thing you need to do is add the armor stands on the front. You just need 1, but you can have 2, so that way you can hit them from either side. It's just kind of a preference. For me, it's a symmetry kind of thing to make it look nice. And guys, that's the whole build. It's really simple. So now all we need to do is throw the splash potion on top of the allays, and then we can start farming. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to throw my splash potion in. And I'm going to come down here and start hitting. And you can see the silverfish are starting to pile up inside of here. And I can just go ahead and hit either one of these armor stands and it'll work. And then to get the XP from inside, some of it gets stuck inside. All you have to do is stand kind of in the corner and you'll start picking up the XP. And just for reference, if you were deciding to use the wither rose instead of the campfire, this is how you would want it set up. You'd have half slabs on the same level as the wither rose, instead of having trapdoors on the same level as the campfire. And if you wanted to use armadillos, you can put them in the same spot as the campfire or the wither rose, but the only other thing you need to do is add a zombie to the mix. That's because the armadillos get spooked by the zombie and they go and roll up into their protective ball, and that makes it so they don't take any damage. So as long as a zombie is standing there, these guys will be rolled up in a ball and they won't actually be taking any damage, but the farm still works for the purposes of this. So if I click this, you can see the silverfish are starting to spawn in, and then I can just turn on the water back here. And they all start to flow in this direction. The only thing you need to watch out for is make sure you name the zombie, otherwise he will despawn after a little while and you'll have to get a new one. Well guys, that's it for today. Like I said, quick and easy XP farm. So if you made it this far, thank you very much. And if you enjoyed the build, don't forget to leave a like. If you built it in your own world, let me know down in the comments because I'd be excited to hear about it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.